Okay, so I don't know if you can see this, but the Dalek model is held together. The base is held on by these four screw supports here. So your screws fit into there. That's how the base is fitted on. So what I've done with my Rollykin base is just pretty much married up my new holes with the existing Dalek model. So this base will now fit onto any Dalek shell made by Character Options. So in that respect, I can adapt it to any toy Dalek that I happen to have in my possession. So I could adapt it to this one, for example. And the only thing I really need to do to adapt it is just to chop away a couple of the support pylons inside, and that's it. Anyway, so I guess that's pretty much everything I need to do in terms of making a workable prototype. So that's pretty much phase 3 completed. So now I've got this thing screwed together with the 4 screws. So hopefully give it a good shake. That's not going to come out. It's fairly stuck in there. So that ball bearing is not going to... It's a very heavy ball, so the last thing you want it to do is fall out and cause chaos. But like I said, as a workable toy, is this viable as a workable toy? I don't know. It's so cumbersome, the ball inside, but ultimately it does the trick. It makes it glide very nicely, and very much like the real thing. And when you compare it to the toy, which is fantastic as it is, it doesn't really glide that much, even on a nice flat surface like this. Its gliding is limited, because it is, after all, just a toy. So, what you expect. Character obviously did a fantastic job of just making the Dalek as accurate as possible, so, let's give them a hats off for making this the best toy ever made. And all I've done is just turn it into a giant Rollykin, so, and it works well, it's gliding very nicely. But like I say, is it cost effective? It costs £7 to get the ball bearing. And then I have to adapt a base, or I don't know if I'm going to make any more of these. I'm going to have to think about maybe making a mold out of resin or something, and seeing if I can make a better one that'll be kind of saving me having to chop up bases and stuff, because it's it is a bit of a waste of a toy if you have to chop up stuff. And anyway, that's something to consider in the future. But the main thing is that the whole thing has come together, and it's working very nicely. And let's just try it on a different base, be able to see the floor better because we're using a black floor. And this is a slightly rougher surface, but even on that it's still moving around with very little resistance. So yeah, it's working a treat. So that's phase 3 complete, and that's just a question of whether I want to go to the next phase, which is making a mold and, like I say, reproducing this type of base, so that I can convert more of these toys into Rollykins, into massive Rollykins. That's just something I need to consider next, I guess. And but I guess it's really just down to whether I want to do it or not, really. I mean, I've pretty much made one, which is what I wanted to do, and I now have a massive Rollykin, which works, So yeah, I'm quite happy with that.